You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Yo. What's up, Spokane? 509, the 208, wherever you're at, we are back at another episode of Shades On with Kid Curry. And for a chance to win, want to grab it? One of these pieces hand blown by Spyglass himself. Watch the rest of the video, and the first 10 people to DM me with the code will be put into a random drawing and win that piece right there.
Yeah.
So this week we got Tim, one of my bros.
What's up, everybody?
Spyglass himself.
Yeah, man. Been doing the glass thing for like 3 years now. Just over 3 years now. Been doing it full time though since I started. It's been dope, man. You want me to basically just get straight into it, into the story, or what?
I mean, yeah. You're one of my bros. I know a lot about you. I don't know how many people that are gonna be watching. You know, they're gonna probably be checking your Facebook and Instagram out, seeing all your art. But
right,
you're
so
an
I guess
artist of your own kind.
I guess I'll shout that out first. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Glass by Spy. The Facebook will take you straight to my profile. The Instagram is like my glass page. That's where I post a lot of my stuff there. Most of my auctions and stuff like that, I haven't done one in a while, but most of those go down on Facebook. So yeah, definitely check me out, man. So yeah, about 3 years ago, I was like just really trying to get into it, and I was like watching a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff like that. Shout out Revere Glass on YouTube. He helped me a lot, like start learning knowledge and get inspired before I ever got the chance to get my hands onto the equipment and actually got the chance to blow glass for my first time.
Who's Revere Glass?
He's a instructional glass blower on YouTube. So he makes like instructional videos on YouTube that are like really super awesome for beginner glass blowers.
So that was like your inspiration behind it all.
Yeah, well, not just that. There's definitely some other like super key moments, like my homie Niff, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, that homie, dude.
He gave me a shot glass one time, and I remember just looking at it, and I was just so puzzled. And that was one of the more recent times where I was like, dude, I want to do this, you know? And even back in the day, man, like when I was in high school, I wrote, like some sort of I don't know, an essay or whatever, you know, about how I wanted to grow up and grow legal weed and blow glass for a living. And my teacher like gave me an A because it was well written, but she's like, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the criteria, but anyway,
look at you now.
Anyway, so yeah, so it's been a goal for a really long time, and just within the last few years, I've been able to finally make it a reality. So shout out Hatter Glass, Spokane, James, dude, another homie, super blessed me with the opportunity to come into his studio and teach me how to blow glass, and really gave me my start in this stuff. You know, like he showed me and gave me the opportunity to try so many cool things, you know, and I'm eternally grateful for that, dude. Same thing goes to Aaron Babineau and Christopher Oriana. Those guys are both some of my very early mentors. Like when I was very first starting out, Aaron showed me how to make my first spoon pipe.
Aaron of Pullman?
Yeah. Same with Chris. It was at Burning Man Festival. They each made one. And yeah, I replicated it that night, and freaking shout out to my homie Hunter. He ended up buying it right there on the spot. And
oh yeah,
dude, it was so awesome.
OG piece.
Yeah. So
tell me about that.
Basically,
it's
I was
cool
like,
story.
It was funny, man. So like I said, we were at the festival, and I was there vending with Aaron, and he brought his glass blowing equipment to be able to do live glass blowing on the scene at the festival. And so we're sitting there chilling, you know what I mean? And at this point in time, I had only ever made like little mushroom beads and like kind of little disc pendants, kind of like these guys.
Yeah.
Not as good as these ones are, but back in the day, you know, it was like my starts and little dab sticks and stuff like that. Little carb caps and stuff, but mostly just a lot of like solid work, marbles, that kind of thing. And so anyway, I was at this festival, and I watched them both do hollow work right in front of me. And I was like, man, that doesn't look that hard. And they're both sitting there convincing me, like talking me into it. And finally I decided, I was like, all right, I'll give one a try. So I ended up doing
this is
it.
sick.
And I had a few people watching me. Another one is Daniel Newport. Shout out to that dude. He sat there and watched me make the whole thing. And then also oh man, I feel like a jerk right now. I can't remember this other homie's name right now, but shout out to you too. You know who you are if you see it, dude. He was the other dude there watching me, and he's like such an awesome fan. I feel like a jerk not remembering his name. I think it's Nick, but anyway, so then yeah, I made the piece and I annealed it and bench cooled it and freaking after a little bit, I was like super stoked on it, checking it out, and we're smoking out of it and stuff. And my buddy Hunter's like, dude, how much for it? And I was like, not for sale, dude. I was like, this one's special, you know, it's going to be my first one ever, or it is my first one ever. I'm going to keep this thing forever, you know? And he's like, dude, he's like, no, for real, how much? He's like, you know, I'm a good glass collector. Like he does. He has a savage glass collection that's like years old. Like some of it's probably like 15, 20-year-old glass, you know?
Damn.
That he's kept nice the whole time. So I do trust him very much. And he's just like, how much, man? How much? And I'm like, $100, just joking. Cause it's this dinky little crappy clear spoon, you know? And he's like, deal. I was like, no way, dude. And then, yeah, he ended up talking me into it. He's like, yeah, dude, I got you. And I'll keep it safe for real, dude. Like, he's like, I know it's a keepsake. I know it's a memento and I know it means a lot to you. And I want it for that reason and to keep it safe and to have the first one. And I'm like, all right, bro, I got you. It was kind of one of those pushes like in the beginning that was like, you can do this, dude. Keep at it, you know? And so, yeah.
I mean, the homie has like the very first like OG piece, you know?
He still busted out every once in a while. We'll smoke out of it. I'm like, dude, this thing is so jank, but it's awesome. It's still awesome.
That's what's up though. He's good homie, you know, not only just for, you know, the person he is, but for that right there. Like
yeah,
you said,
yeah.
It's a big
well,
push, you
dude,
know, to
that's
keep yourself in it.
Him and Kayla, they have both supported me a lot in my glass career as far as financially and also just as like with awesome props. Awesome. Like they're always congratulating me on the things that I do and making me feel dope about the things that I make and stuff like that. So I can't give enough thanks to all my fans like that, really. You know, it's like those are the two people that are coming to mind right now, but there's tons of people out there that I could name off and endless appreciation.
I mean, I don't
for the amount of
I don't want to be pieces. I just can't smoke out of it.
Yeah, right.
It's just all locked up. One day I'll be off probation.
Right. So yeah, man, it's and then from there I went down to Oregon for a little bit. Got some cool training down in Oregon from a dude named Davies Glass out of Roseburg, Oregon, and a guy named he goes by Hephaestus Glass, Brad, down in Bandon, Oregon. They both like gave me a place to post up and work, and down in Roseburg, shout out FX420, shout out Trader Tom's. They were both some of my like first big deals. You know, I was like out on the road just trying to make this life work, and it was crazy, dude. It was cool.
Hell yeah. Well, first we got to start this off with the first letter of the code to get that pipe is S. The letter S. So how about tell us some background about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from here in Spokane.
Born and raised?
Yeah, I was born and raised here. I went to freaking Longfellow Elementary, Gary Middle School, Rogers High School for a couple years, and then I ended up going out to the Skill Center for a couple years, or more like a year, and then I tried it out at CBE for a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. After that, I started working for a while, and I was like doing construction, and I had what society would consider to be like a really good job, you know, like I had benefits and medical, dental, all that kind of stuff. But like for me personally, it didn't like spark my soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't make me feel good waking up doing that every day. And so like eventually I knew I needed a change. So I started slowly making my shift towards this kind of lifestyle, you know, where I'm like self-sufficient now. I create my own
art.
Well, it's not just art, but it's also like it's a resource to be able to trade like for financial as well as material purposes, you know, like at barter fair and stuff like that, which shout out to that whole
Community,
scene and community. Yeah, it's
family.
like is so awesome. I'm so blessed by them every time I go there. But it's like I've taken my glass there and traded for who knows everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything that I feel like I need while I'm there, I can go find, and usually I can trade them directly for glass, whether it be jewelry, pipes, you know, anything like that.
Shot
Or
glasses right here.
if not, I can trade my glass for something that they're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it almost adds to the adventure, you know? It's like, all right, well, they want this. And so let me go find someone who has that, who wants to trade for glass. And
that's what makes it barter fair.
it
though.
is. It's awesome. So yeah, basically as I was like coming out of the construction and stuff like that, which I still do construction, like side work and stuff occasionally, but
What do you do for side work?
I mean, you got any? No, I'm just kidding. Drywall, framing, freaking flooring jobs. I don't know. That's most of the side work that I've done recently. But shoot, I would like to get into some other like more advanced like kind of carpentry and stuff like that as well. And I don't know. Honestly, it's hard. Sometimes I struggle with the idea of running my glass as my full-time job, or if I should get like a full-time job and then run my glass more as a hobby and not have that like constant pressure to create, like, because I've made a bunch of these and those type of pipes, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've made, and sometimes I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm still blessed, and I am very fortunate to be in this life that I've created for myself. Like I said, I spent a little bit on the materials to make this stuff and a little bit on some like fine gold and silver to fume it with. And then I freaking turn it into a pretty decent chunk of change,
Hold
you
on,
know?
so
Like,
those pipes over there are fumed with gold?
yeah, so these ones are the pink in it is gold, and then the like kind of white and green color is a combination of gold and silver.
And that's what happens when like the metals melt down into the glass, or
Yeah, so I basically essentially I would have my torch spraying in front of me, and I like I get like a stick of glass red hot, and then I dip it and pick up a piece of metal, whether it be fine silver or fine gold. And then I pick it up and I like have the glass preheated in my other hand, and I'm like running it in and out of the flame as I put the metal into the flame, and it like sprays. You can actually see a little like
Really?
it kind of like poofs, and you can see the difference in the flame. And then you pull it out and let it cool down, and you can see the fume that got caught on there.
can you use does it have to be malleable metals like that, or can you use like platinum?
So you can, but the thing is a lot of the other metals that you can fume with are a lot more dangerous to breathe.
Oh.
So I do have very good ventilation in my workspace to make sure that all the fumes from like basically the carbon monoxide from the torch, the sodium from the glass that's being burnt, the cadmiums and stuff like that from the color, just make sure all those bad fumes are taken away from me. But as far as like burning like platinum or copper or something like that, it's just something that I love the colors I can get out of these.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe at some point in time, if I really felt the desire to, I might like put on a respirator and play around. But at this point, I'm still trying to dial in the process of getting the exact colors that I want with just gold and silver. So until I can perfect that process, I'm gonna keep the variables to a minimum, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you can't just like, I don't want to say half-ass it, but do something, especially in this work of art, do anything like 90% and be like, yeah, fuck it, it's good.
Right.
Like, I bet you're not okay with that.
So speaking of the safety too, these are actually my glass blowing glasses. They keep it to where when I burn the glass, it puts off a big red flare. It's called sodium flare, and these protect my eyes. So that way I don't get like welder's burn and stuff like that.
Yeah, flash burn and shit.
Yeah. I had to bust them out for the shades on, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it, bro. So, you mentioned how many years you been blowing glass, actually?
So it's like maybe 3.5, almost 3.5 years.
Damn. And you're already making, I've seen Sherlock's of yours. You're already making bombs and
I'm really
fucking
proud of
recyclers.
these. Yeah, these recyclers are my newest endeavor. The newest thing that I've like
How
really
many of
put a
those have you
lot of
made?
energy into creating. So this one right here that I've been smoking out of is number 17, I believe.
Damn, that's the newest one you made.
Yeah, this was the last one. I haven't made any since I've been back from Barter Fair. This right here is actually one that I have that I brought.
Wish I
just
could
to
fucking
kinda
smoke.
show,
I'd be getting one of those off you, dude. Those are sick.
kind of in the making. So you can see this is ultimately one of those, but this is still on the handle. So this is still all set up to where I can work it in the flame, you know? So I still have to like, I'll tear this off here, make the S bend, attach the joint, attach the mouthpiece. I'll make these seals here and here. And then after that, it's pretty much done.
So wait, so it won't be all connected up there at the top. You'll be connected directly into right underneath that. So like,
Yeah, so this will all get torn off. Just like, so at one point in time, these looked exactly the same. So
what?
this at one point in time, so basically I'll tear all this off flat. I'll flatten this, get this shape really nice, but I'll leave this one here. So that way when I put my mouthpiece on, I can bend that one's handle over and connect it here. So that way I can melt in, it's called a bridge. So that way you can melt in the seals and make the seams look really nice and perfect, you know?
Damn, what the fuck?
It's a pretty fascinating process.
Yeah, dude.
There's
I
actually
can't imagine like one just trying not to fuck up doing that, but let alone like the man hours. Like, how many man hours that going to?
So I'm thinking these here are currently taking me probably, I haven't actually timed them very well yet, but I'm thinking probably somewhere close to like 5, maybe 7 hours. And I know that's a big difference, but like I said, I haven't really timed them yet.
What about that bong?
So actually this bong is I didn't make this myself. This is a collaboration between me and my shopmate Brando. Shout out Brando, shout out Montage Glass. Huge props to them. I'm sure you've noticed since I've been there how rapidly my skills have elevated. Those guys have helped me out and they've been nothing but awesome, super caring, super friendly people to me. And it's like, I can't thank that whole crew over at Montage Glass enough. Seriously.
So, who did what when it comes to collaborating on that?
So I made the marbles, the horn, and these 3 sections here. And then he did the space tech and the assembly.
Okay.
And then, so I don't know if you remember, maybe we can, in post-production, pull up a picture of this other one that I made also or something like that. But so he made this one for me one day and then it was almost as a demo, to show me the process and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I made one that was just like it. I can actually show you the picture really quick.
Yeah, and then we can get it up on here.
But I made this one like just a couple days, maybe 1 or 2 days later after he showed me how to do it as a demo,
How many hours do you have into like those spoons up there?
There's that one.
Oh shit, with the mushrooms and everything.
Yeah, sculpted mushrooms on it. They got blue on them too, like the bruising. You know how the trippy ones bruise blue?
Yeah, yep. That's dope.
So these ones, the light blue ones that are just the basic silver fumes, are taking me right around 15 to 20 minutes. And then these ones take me from like anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes. And
so you've gotten pretty fucking good. Like a lot, like to be able to do it that quick. How long did it take you on your first piece?
Well, yeah, it's definitely been an evolution of process for sure. It's like something that I'm constantly working at getting faster. And that would be like right now if I jumped in and did one. If I'm really in my A game and I'm like in the middle of a production run, like say there's been times where I've done like 100 of these for one person or like 100 of those I did like 130 of those at one time and 80 of these at one time. And like, so it was like when I'm making that many pieces right in a row, they end up getting really fast, like almost down to like probably like closer to 10, 15 and then closer to like half an hour on these ones. And but then it's still like I said, if I were to jump in and do it right now, it's not necessarily just like riding a bike. You know, it's you got to get in that groove, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's freaking takes a lot of effort to force myself to get into that groove and start working that hard. You know, because it doesn't just come naturally. It's like it definitely the flow state is what a lot of I hear people talk about it in the glass community a lot when you're like really in that like going working mode, you know, and I'm sure it goes farther than just the glass community too, but when you're in that like flow state, it's okay, so it's not always easy to get into that flow state is what I was trying to say. And you know, there's certain things that definitely help me sometimes like my I've been trying to focus more on my like health, my mental health, my physical health, so I've been trying to eat better and like go to the gym occasionally and stuff like that. And I definitely feel like that has a lot to do with my motivation as well as microdosing
Yeah.
can help a lot sometimes. Yeah. And I don't know, sometimes I wonder if it's just, you know, cause when you take that, I like to turn my showers cold too right at the end of it for like, I'll like take 30 deep breaths in a cold shower. And sometimes it's hard.
That's I know what you're talking about. That's a
Um, yeah, I've heard it's good for you. I don't know. I
It's
haven't looked into it a super lot, but um anyway, so it's like I think a lot of what it does is it's like taking that initiative to be like I'm controlling my day. I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone in order to try to achieve even if it doesn't actually do anything, it's some sort of mental satisfaction of like that initial like I set a goal and now I'm going to do it and ta-da, I win, you know? And it's like once you get that ball rolling, it's a lot easier to keep that ball rolling. And that's kind of what I was talking about with the flow state, you know?
Yeah.
It's like and then all of a sudden like how I've been doing it lately is I'll like wake up, make breakfast, go to the gym and after I shower at the gym, at the end of my shower I turn it cold and then I roll into the glass studio and it's like a lot easier for me to start picking up production, you know, and not always. It doesn't always work like that, you know, but
you do
that's
notice
the
the
goal.
difference.
A lot of the times, yeah, especially if I'm able to actually get up, get to the gym, because there's some days where it's not like that. Obviously, you know what I mean. That's the goal I'm setting is to be more productive and to do that more often, but it doesn't always happen like that. And so I definitely do notice that on days where I'm able to make that happen, where I wake up even not even necessarily early, because sometimes I stay up really late working, you know, and it's like you have this 24 hours. I don't think it really matters when you use it if you're being productive, you know what I mean? So sometimes I definitely sleep in but what I'm trying to get at here is if I wake up and quickly get breakfast made and quickly get to the gym and I'm like not procrastinating, taking a bunch of time, smoking in between all these steps and stuff like that, then it definitely, especially if I get a microdose in there, some psilocybin mushrooms and some lion's mane mixed together that my homies made, uh freaking if I get one of those in there too, usually it definitely does help get the ball rolling and help me have a motivated day.
Stay more productive.
Yeah. It's more energy too. I've definitely noticed the microdose can help with the energy. Sometimes I get sleepy. I'm a stoner, dude. So sometimes I'm like sitting there blowing glass and I'm like, man, a nap sounds nice right now. And I notice when I microdose that doesn't happen quite as bad.
Hell yeah.
Man, there's a
There's a
couple
lot of
times.
benefits to microdosing.
Yeah, there is. There's tons and tons of benefits. I'm a super huge believer in the power, the healing power and medicinal power of magic mushrooms.
Yeah, hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Um, I'm a. I would say that I'm a. I don't know the word I'm looking for here. They have helped me a lot, though. They've shown me like the power that I have over my life. The fact that I am in control of this. It's not just or at least to an extent. Obviously, you have control over your life. Some, you know, like there's obviously variables that'll happen in the universe that you don't have control over, and there's that prayer or whatever to, what is it? You know what I'm
The
talking
serenity
about?
prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's like I just got super sidetracked. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
Psychedelic mushrooms, showing
Okay,
you.
so yeah, they've shown me that I definitely do have the power to control certain things in my life, and that it gave me the kind of awakening to take responsibility for some of the things in my life too, that maybe I used to like look at like, I don't know, with kind of a negative mentality, like, oh yeah, like this isn't my fault or something like that, when really it is in one way or another, like maybe it's not directly my fault exactly, but it's still my actions and my life that has got me there.
Kind of like, here, take blame.
Yeah, yeah. You ain't the son. No. Oh, that was a good one, man.
Oh, dude, we've had some great fries. Some great experiences learning a lot about ourselves.
And so that's another huge thing, is just that learning a lot about yourself. Like, so psychedelics are one of the things that showed me that some of my unhappiness and some of my desire to escape reality, which at that time I was kind of using psychedelics to do, which they ended up showing me too, that wasn't okay, that
Yeah.
I need to be present in reality and this is important, But at that time I was like going through it, and I was like, had a lot of anxiety about work, and like I wasn't, it was while I was working construction, like I was saying earlier, and I was like just not happy. And I didn't exactly know why, and it was psychedelics and psychedelic experiences a lot that helped show me that the life that I was living was the reason why I wasn't happy, and if I wanted change, that I needed to go seek that change and make goals and build towards them. And it's worked wonders for me. Like I still have hard days, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely a much happier, much more goal motivated, self driven person
Your
than I
grind
was
and your
then.
goals are congruent now. More congruent.
I was gonna say I try to keep them.
Yeah. That's what's up. So, second letter to the code to win one of these pipes up here with the gold and silver fuming. Letter C.
I don't even know what this word is yet. It's a mystery for me too, guys. He was trying to get me to help earlier, and I was like, "You got this." No.
So you're talking about how you went to Oregon to learn how to blow. I know for a minute, like a year and a half ago, you were going like all the way down to Arizona. You went on hell of a
Yeah, so
van trip or whatever. Where have you sold all your your pieces at? What
okay, so
states?
that's another question. So, man, I have glass cross country as well that I've shipped. So that's
Oh,
kind of cool. I have glass. I think it's in Maine as well as Rhode Island.
what?
And then I also have glass in Washington, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, California, and Nevada.
Damn.
I wasn't able to flip any glass while I was in Arizona,
Oh.
unfortunately. I was pretty low by the
Still
time I
though,
got
dude, just
there.
to have your art in all these different places, it must feel pretty,
Yeah, it is. It's really
make you
cool.
feel, make you feel good, that your work, your art's getting out there, not
Yeah,
just
it is
locally
nice.
but
And it's
nationwide.
so there was one. I remember the first time I ever sold glass to a shop. It was super cool because I went in there and I was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of new to blowing glass. Like, I don't know exactly how this is supposed to work, but I was just like coming in here to figure it out. Like how do I go about selling you guys glass?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, we just got a big order. We're really not interested, but if you go grab it, I'll take a look at it and we'll see if there's anything we can do." And I was for sure like, "Yeah, like she's not gonna want my janky little freaking 3-day old pipes, like, you know what I mean?" Like, and anyway, so I walk in there and I show him, and she's like, "Wow, these are actually really good." And she ended up buying like $60 worth of glass from me right there on the spot. And I was like, "Dude, yeah, nice." And oh, shout out YMG Bubba. I messaged his Facebook the other day and I said, "Tell him, send him my love." They just got back to me and said they will. So
Hell yeah.
anyway, turn that thing on silent.
Wait, who the
Flip her
fuck's
over.
on his Facebook?
I'm sure his fam.
I hope so. I need to check in on that being his manager. That's weird.
I'm sure it's
That's
I'm sure
fucking
it's
weird.
family.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, dude, I was super stoked on that. And then ever since then, it kind of boosted my confidence to be able to just go into stores. And sometimes they're like, yeah, this isn't how this works. Like, you got to make an appointment and da da da
Oh,
da.
shit.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's not how this works for me, dude. I'll fucking,
not
I'll
how
go
I
to
did
a
it the
different
first time.
store and I'll just walk in. And usually it works for me a lot. And honestly, it was traveling, especially, it's so cool to walk in as a complete stranger,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, I'm not even from this town. I got a bunch of glass though. I'm trying to trade or sell some. Like, what can you guys do? And like, I've sold and traded glass for weed to shops in Oregon, like all up and down the coast. Freaking, it's cool, dude. Just the other day, actually, I was in Roseburg, Oregon. Shout out FX420 again. Uh, like I said, they were one of the people who was one of my first bulk glass orders when I was in Oregon, all trying to make it on my own, you know? And then I just recently went back down to Oregon to re-up on materials.
Yeah.
Like I bought more tubing and like raw materials
Is
to
it
be able
cheaper
to
there?
make. So the thing is that's the main hub where you order it from.
Okay.
So I could have paid for shipping and it would have saved me a little bit of money, but I would rather take that like couple $100 to pay for the shipping to get it up here and make a road trip out of it, you know?
Yeah.
I throw another couple $100 at it and I have an awesome time every time I go down there and I sell a bunch of glass and it's awesome. I sold glass to this random kid at the skate park and like it was cool, dude. I love
Hell
it.
yeah.
But anyway, so I ended up stopping back by FX420 in Roseburg this last time when I was down there, and he bought like a recycler, a freaking pendant, few pipes, and he traded me for like 3 dank ass grams of hash rosin, dude. So
Yeah.
it was awesome, yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
I love that shit.
That's what's up. So, it has its perks, has its benefits here and there, on top of just, making art and selling it, you making good solid connections if you've been going straight to the,
Yeah.
straight to the distributor like that.
Yeah, for sure. And so he runs a recreational weed store in
Okay.
Oregon. That's what FX420 is. That's why I was able to trade him for the rosin. So, basically the way that it works is they sign me up as a vendor. They buy my glass at a wholesale rate and then they sell me their product also at a discounted rate because I'm a vendor. Now I'm like a industry person, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like it was super cool, dude.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I got a super good deal on the rosin and freaking it was all in trade and I even walked out with some cash too and it made it way nice because at first I was kind of stressing. I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I got to like kind of shoot straight home, scrape by, you know?"
Mm-hmm.
And then after I made that sale, it was like, "Okay, I can screw around for a couple more
Yeah.
days, you know?" And which was nice because I ended up going to the coast and finding some azarescent mushrooms, dude. Azarescence, yeah, psilocybe azarescence, one of the most potent, naturally occurring psilocybe containing mushrooms on the planet.
Can you like,
I'm not sure. I know that some people have tried. I know that they're really hard to cultivate
by yourself?
by yourself, yeah. And I think that I don't know. I'm a believer in like vibes and energy and intention and stuff like
Yep.
that. So I think that the fact that that came straight from the earth is really cool. And I think that it has its own maybe unique message to share compared to something that maybe man helped cultivate, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't tried them yet. I'm very curious too though.
Hell yeah.
I'm
That's what's
excited
up.
to, yeah.
Did you find a lot?
A decent little handful, maybe like just over an eighth. But like I said, they're the most potent naturally occurring psilocybin mushrooms.
Yeah.
So I've never tried them myself, but I've heard that one will send you to the moon. Like they are potent, you know?
Damn.
So my buddy told me definitely, he said, because they're covered in sand, because they grow in the sand and the dune grass
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And basically he said make a tea, but only make 1 gram into a tea and then have that cup of tea and see how you feel. Write it out. If you need more, you can always make more tea, you know, but
Yeah.
you can't drink less tea. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
be
how it is.
careful.
Yeah, that's how it is with acid. That's how it is
Yeah.
with all. You know, you can never do less, but you can always do more.
You buy the ticket, take the ride, though, you know.
I've done that too many times, so many times. It's been great though.
Speaking of which, why are hippies always walking around with those tiny little stamps on their tongue, dude? They're trying to send it. No.
Shit. Oh man. So I know I know a little bit about you, so I'll just start off with so another work of art you used to do some graffiti back in the day.
Oh yeah, I did. That's actually where my glass name came from. That was the word that I used to write. And big shout outs to my homie Peyton, man. He just got out. I've been
Pedro.
talking to him a lot, and we used to kill it, man. There was another homie that I won't speak on him. We're not as cool anymore, but we used to get down a lot too. And then yeah, dude, we used to just go and friggin' drink a little bit and get fucked up and go
Shit,
paint on shit. You
Shit,
know,
I
it
think
was
I've tagged
fun.
with you like once.
It was a lot of fun, honestly. It was reckless. There was a lot of fucking stupid shit that we did, but it was a lot of fun at the time. Wilding out, being dumbass little kids, you know?
Yeah. And then I know there's one point because I went and saw you when you were vending there, but you were vending Christmas ornaments like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. So I'm actually,
Yeah, I got a few of
I'm
those.
in contact with, I might be doing a festival or a little craft fair coming up here pretty soon, just before Christmas, that I'm trying to register for. And I'm planning on making some Christmas ornaments for that too.
Yeah, you had
So
icicles. You had fucking like what? You
little
had
Christmas trees,
yeah, little
Santa
Christmas
Claus,
trees.
or
I
not
think you had
Santa Claus, but
snowflakes.
snowmen.
Yeah,
Not snowflakes. Snowflakes is something I tried to do, but I couldn't do
the perfect
the
silhouette.
weaving with the glass. Yeah, it was too. Glass is such a weird medium to work with because you got to think it's like you got to get it hot enough to turn almost liquid to be able to work it and move it into
Yeah,
the shapes that you want. So you're like, to make a snowflake, you're like dealing with like you got to like have this point here and you're welding these little tips on the end of it. So you got to make this connection hot enough to where they fuse properly or else it will crack right there. But then once you put enough heat into it to for them to fuse properly, this wants to like fall down
yeah,
because of gravity, you know? So it's like it's really tricky medium. You're constantly using gravity, you're constantly like working with and fighting against gravity. And yeah, it's weird. It's cool. I
yeah. I
like it
remember.
though.
Yeah, I got like I think on the Christmas tree at home of my own, like I got like a few icicles and like a snowman, but I threw some up at my parents' house on their tree, and they're like, "What the fuck are these?" I'm like,
That's
"This is the
cool.
homie Tim. Like he
That's
blew these."
awesome.
They're like, "Oh, what?" Because
Uh,
they met you.
I've given quite a few of them away to my friends too, but I'm almost out now, and I made hundreds of
Yeah.
those icicle ornaments. I actually, they're buried right now, but I still have like maybe three left,
Hell yeah.
3 or 4.
That's what's up.
Right, busting back out. That was that last? No, that wasn't last year. That was the year before last.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get time confused, dude. I'm
So
my
explain
own
everything you
schedule.
got out for us today. You got the two recyclers, you got the collab bong, you have
Shot
the
glass.
gold and silver fumed pipes, a shot glass.
This is gold and silver fume as well, inside of the bottom of the cup.
Is
Or
it
the
a true
bottom of the
shot or is that
shot
what it?
glass. No, I just eyeballed it. Just made it about the size that I thought it needed to be.
Good enough.
Honestly, I think it's a little less. I've drank out of it a couple times and it feels kind of skimpy.
Maybe they're just pouring really fat shots.
Maybe I like that place then. But then yeah, these are the recyclers. They don't have any water in them now, but you can still see the action on the terp pearls. Worked pretty good. I kind of want to. Oh, this one you can see the action on the.
I mean,
It's
yeah, you
dirty
can
and
take
all
a hit and
globbed
show them
up.
off that one, I guess.
The function, it's called. I keep calling it the action.
You got some pendants.
Yeah, some pendants, couple marbles.
What's that black one right there? That black pendant.
This guy?
Yeah.
So this is like my take on making like an agate, essentially, like
see that?
man-made stone of some kind.
Feels like it's sandblasted.
It is sandblasted.
Oh, it is. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Then you got like what is that? Like a galaxy ball? Is that like one of those ones with like crushed opal and stuff in it?
No, this is dichro
Dichro?
inside of here, like rainbow dichro. Yeah, just a cool little marble.
Then you got this other one with like an eyeball.
I think this one reminds me of the Aurora Borealis.
Oh.
The bands coming
Yeah,
up
I
of
can see
color and
that
stuff
now.
like that. So the orange in here is really cool. It's like this is a hard color to achieve with just silver, and that's all I used for this marble. Well, the bottom is color, but as far as the color inside of the clear coming through here,
Do you have to like burn it longer or something, or like get extra hot?
I'm still not exactly sure what the difference is. So one thing is high oxygen. You got to use high oxygen in order to basically. So if you're using a high propane flame, they call it a reducing flame, which makes the silver turn like white. Essentially, it's let's see here. All these ones have pretty good color in them still, but you can kind of see here the way that it's like kind of whitish.
Yeah.
It's like that, but even more. It turns like kind of white, almost a tan sometimes, and some people really like it, but it's just ultimately not the look that I'm usually going for. You know, I'm going for the colors. I like rainbows and stuff like that when I make the fume. So basically, yeah, like I said, I'm not even 100% sure what created the orange. I know that it's a very sought after color when you're doing the silver fuming, but I'm not exactly sure what I did to create it yet. Like I said, I'm still learning the
Is it
fume
sought
and
after
stuff like
just because
that.
it's so hard?
Yeah, and just because it's cool to be able to get the full color spectrum of the rainbow out of just silver. Usually you have to combine silver and gold to be able to get like the full spectrum.
Yeah.
But like that has almost from red all the way to purple, like all the colors almost, you know?
Yeah.
Which is like, it's cool. It's crazy. It's hard.
So how many man hours go into making that little eyeball Aurora Borealis thing?
So that thing was probably a couple, maybe a few hours, but it was actually a failed attempt at a different technique that ended up still looking really cool, so I saved it. But I was going for like little honeycomb implosion, and you can kind of see some of the dots if you look down into it, but it didn't work out quite the way that I wanted to. See how there's those like dots inside of there?
Yeah.
Those were supposed to be stacked like in a circle in the middle instead of spreading out like that. They were supposed to sink in like this, but I just basically did the technique wrong. But it still looked cool.
Oh, it's fucking dope.
Thank you.
So today, the third letter of the code is C. Letter C.
I already forgot the first ones.
I'm not going back to say it. That's why they gotta watch this
Oh,
video.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out what the word is. Like I said, I don't even know it. So, but now it's over. Anyway.
Oh, wait. I said that wrong. Fuck. Second letter was C. Third letter's H.
Well, I'm glad I pointed that out.
Thank you. Yeah. Second letter C. Third letter's H.
So now you can skip to this part and get 2 for 1, dude. No.
Fuck, dude. We've had a lot of good times, like whether, you've seen me do some racing and bite through my fucking tongue to
Clark, you dude.
explaining, yeah.
And the freaking
Casing that Grand Canyon.
I was gonna say like the 100-foot at least.
Yeah.
How big is that jump?
It's 80 feet tip to tip. Or it was. I think they shortened it a little bit.
Maybe since
because
then.
of people like me. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So that was a big jump for sure. I remember seeing you, and then it was like you jumped down the jump, and I couldn't see you. And I was like, he should be coming around that corner by now. And you weren't. And I was just like, oh, shit, ran over there. And
Well, I got speed checked going up the face, and then I just second guessed it and end up casing the fuck out of it. Bit through my tongue, fucked my ankle up. I couldn't talk the rest of that day, dude. Like, I'm writing down
getting all mad. He's like, oh, writing down
on a fucking piece of notebook paper just to tell you what I need. Fucking, like, I ended up drinking a shitload of rum that night, like a fucking damn pirate would, with his tongue cut out of his mouth. Just
Don't
to heal
forget
it.
to mention the fact that before you drank all that rum, you still raced the second moto.
Yes, I did. Yeah, didn't finish the first moto. Went out second moto, beat half my fucking class, busted out the double.
Even though he started a minute or so later, than he like let everyone go, and then he started behind him just to race, just to do it for himself, which is so savage. And then still ended up passing like half the people in the class, dude. It was tight.
Not that jump still.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, dude, with my tongue hanging out my mouth, trying not to bite the rest of it off. Tough, dude. From good times, you coming to have my back like that, to the parties at the old trap pad, to fucking experiencing
watching freaking Planet Earth on acid, dude.
Oh god, yeah. Shout out to everybody that was with us doing that. You know who you are.
Oh, that was awesome, dude.
To experiencing Trevor porting together.
Oh yeah, couple times, dude.
Yeah, you helped me. You called that out on me.
Couple times. I remember one time we were at freaking Deep Creek.
Yeah, that was the first time it came about.
And then, but the other time, remember when we were at Barter Fair with Dante, and you're like, the people were coming through the speakerphone.
Oh my god, dude,
you remember that?
That was real shit. Oh my god, dude. I forgot about this. So,
and then right after that, we Trevor ported again. All of a sudden, we're standing by the pirate ship, and I'm like, how did we get here?
So to fill you in on what Trevor porting is like, I can't even explain it, but it only happens when we're, on a whole nother level, and from hallucinogens. And pretty much like the first time I remember, we were climbing at Deep Creek, and it was like every blink I felt like Timmy took as he was walking behind me on this trail, I'm like extra 30 feet ahead of him.
Oh yeah, you're like mountain goating it out, dude. Like I'm like walking just like super normally, and it was like you weren't actually sprinting, but it was like you were traveling in the speed that it would seem like you were sprinting. That's how fast you were gaining ground on me. I'm just like, whoa, dude, where are you going so quick?
Yeah, and then
get back here.
And then to go to the Tenasket Fair thing, that was really fucking weird. We were trying to find a homie. And
oh, that was so funny, dude.
We were trying to find a homie. And shout out the homie River, because that's who we were looking for.
And he's walking up to camps and he's like, do you know of a river? Have you ever heard of a river? And people are looking at him like, we're so crazy. They're like, well, there's like the Kettle Falls River, or I don't even know, dude. Like, it was so funny.
So this is what I remember. So Dante's like, hey, you guys know someone named River?
Columbia?
And I decided to just ask this one camp. I'm like, hey, you guys know of a river? Like, didn't say it like somebody. And they're like, yeah, which one? We got the Kettle Falls, the Columbia, and I'm like the fucking Okanagan. I'm just like, oh, fucks. And they're all laughing. So we walked away. And as we're walking away, I swear I could hear like, right by us, like there's a fucking like speaker going, like it mimicking everything we were talking about, everything. And I'm like, guys, like I'm going through it, right? Like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, dude,
I'm like, there's no way that thing can hear what we're saying. And all of a sudden, it's like, we can definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah, we just fucking got out of it. Like it was fucking like way too fucking weird.
Also, like,
yeah, it does that. It does that.
So yeah, after that, I remember Trevor was like freaking out, and I was like, yo, dude, calm down. If this is really some omnipotent being that's talking to us through a freaking megaphone at Barter Fair, just chasing us around, screwing with us, I don't think taking 25 steps over here is going to help. Like, we need to chill, Like, we like sit down, we're like, fuck, dude, all right, smoke a bowl or something, and then all of a sudden we're right next to the freaking pirate ship, like nothing ever happened, dude. Maybe like we got abducted. No,
that was way across the whole damn festival.
Yeah, we were still in like camping, searching for river when that happened, and then all of a sudden,
well, it wasn't.
That was the same night where me and Dante are walking right next to each other, and I'm like looking him in the face, dude, having a normal conversation, and all of a sudden he just disappears, dude. And freaking, I'm like, where'd you go, dude? I start laughing and shit. And he comes climbing up out of this fucking rock pile, and he's like pissed off at me for laughing at him and shit like that. But I'm frying, so I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Fucking, where'd you go, dude? We were just talking, and then all of a sudden you're fucking gone. What the
He
fuck?"
just dropped into a hole.
Oh yeah, well not a hole, but he ate shit on some rocks and then like kind of rolled down a hill. It was fucked up. I'm a dick, dude. I fucking have a problem with laughing at people when they get fucked up in front of me.
Fucked up and looking back at me biting my tongue off, dude. The whole situation was fucking. Besides the crash, the whole situation was fucking hilarious. You know, I can't even talk. I'm trying to talk. You're laughing at me. I'm getting more pissed off. Like flipping around, dude. I'd have a hard time trying not to fucking laugh about that. So I mean, I get it. I mean, there's some things that I'm. You know, I can't remember at the moment. I'm definitely probably been like pissed. Like, can't believe you laughed at me about that. But it is what it is, dude. That's why we're bros.
I'm sure the same, maybe not. No, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm sure the same could be said from you to me too. But yeah, I'm definitely more the asshole. It seems. No, I love you, buddy. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, love you, bro. We've had a lot of great times, dude.
I hear my dog up there crying.
Oh man, we need to soundproof this place a little better.
Speaking of great times, I remember going out to Emerald Creek, or not Emerald Creek. Where is that giant cedar?
Oh, up Priest River.
No, not Priest River.
Priest River, or no. Elk River.
Elk River,
yeah, with the giant fucking like
giant old growth cedar grove, dude.
Plus 6,000 plus year old giant red fir cedar tree.
This tree is probably as big as the room we're sitting in. And it was
Fuck,
I remember,
dude, no way, it's bigger.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's
like just width. It's way bigger.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like dude, I tell you, I blasted off there. Yeah, dude, that was a fucking another. Oh my god, that was something else.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wanted to when we were there. I remember.
Well, I was like, this would be a dope place
to smoke some deems, dude.
And then I brought a little bit of deems and like a clean pipe and went there and smoked some with my cousin. And then the next day I went back and smoked some. And like, go ahead. And I ended up taking like 3 hits and fatty hits, and then like got up and like was like standing under like over by the trees or whatever. I think I hugged a tree. I was like, thank you, because I wanted to like, share my love and appreciation for those, those fucking beans, because, fucking tree beans, fucking giant fucking plants right there. Because those things have been around longer than fucking religion, and I explained that to my family. I was like, your guys' books that the papers printed on ain't even as old as these trees. I got way more appreciate, like, if these things ever burnt the fuck down, like if the fucking redwoods or anything like that, or craziest thing is that actually I said to my parents, I was like, yo, if the fucking Amazon where trees are way older than these ones ever burnt down, that shit would make me cry. And like a week later on the fucking news, like the Amazon was like burning the fuck down and shit. Yeah, that year it was fucking crazy. But to get on with it, like I go and I blast off against with these trees, give one a hug, and I'm like starting to tear up. I'm just like fucking going through, having a great time, and fucking seeing like as if the fucking like the trees were casting a shadow over my skin, and I was seeing like a real tree, like how there's like mossy oak and real tree. It was like real tree outline going across my skin, changing fucking fluorescent colors and shit. It was insane. So I fucking, at that point I'm like, oh, I go and sit down on this bench, and this bench is being shined on by the sun, and this is a fucking meadow, and so there's no sun really getting through besides this forest. One fucking spot shining on the fucking bench, and I'm just sitting there like trying to cover, like laying on the bench covering my fucking eyes from the sun. And then as soon as I start to come back to, like there's this girl like walking up, and so I sit up, try to act a little normal, and she walks by, and she's like, hey, how's it going? She's like, hey, how's it going? Having a good day? I'm like, I'm having a fucking great day. And she just like looked at me like fucking like, okay, just like scurried off like this guy's fucking on one, but yeah, it's definitely a very magical moment.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Man, I've had some beautiful experiences smoking DMT as well.
Yeah.
That's another one of those substances that I really believe in the healing power of. I think that can help people a lot with their lives, with their
If it's
anxieties and stuff like that.
if you're ready for it though, like I've been scared from it fucking over a dozen times, and I still go. I'll take a break, you know, and I still go back to it. I've had a calling of just like needing to shaman people with it, you know, like, and not even do it for like over a year, you know, and just helping people out with their problems. But if you're not ready for it, I respect that, and everybody should, because and there is some people out there that don't need it, like they won't feel it, like they're smoke it and like they just don't get off on DMT, and that's weird sometimes. I don't know if that has to do with like a very calcified, closed off pineal gland, or if it's a certain blood type. Because also I've heard like people with like O negative, like the rarest blood type out there, like it takes so much extra just to get them high on all hallucinogens, and I feel like that's one that just doesn't really work like the normal person. I don't know. It's a weird little study I've looked into,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked into that very much.
and I've asked people that have that blood type, and they're like, tell me like, oh yeah, acid never worked on me growing up in the '70s and shit like that. I'm like, oh, they're telling me about doing fucking at like house paint and just huffing some fucking gas shit, you know. And they're like, yeah, that's how I used to hide. Acid never worked. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I start asking them, you know, some deeper questions, and then they're like, and you know, even smoked DMT with this one particular lady, and like she's like, I don't feel it like you guys. You guys are fucking gone. And I'm like, come back to him like, what blood type are you? And she's like, oh, negative. I'm like, all right, you're not the first person to deal with this then. Like I know I understand now a little bit.
That's weird. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I guess not really cool for them, but
yeah. So what do you like to do outside of blowing glass?
well, I really enjoy spending time with my dog, going on hikes and stuff like that. I snowboard in the winter. I love traveling. I camp, and I talk about her and she starts whining. Anyway, I like to go camping. I just got a kayak this year, so that's something that I'm going to be trying to get into more.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Smoking dank weed. I love it. No.
I ran into at a show recently the homie that we saw at Emerald Creek or whatever, Billy, that kayaks.
Oh yeah.
Wearing the Mrs. Potato onesie or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, I ran into him at a show or whatever, and yeah, he was telling me to hit him up.
Cool.
Yeah, I know he does a shitload of kayaking.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I need to go with more. I need to go with more knowledgeable individuals, because last time I went kayaking on the Spokane River, it was a shit show, dude. It was super scary. Me and my homie definitely we didn't really almost drown, but it was one of those moments where you're like kind of.
Did you have a life vest?
Dancing on the line. I had one, but I wasn't wearing it. It was strapped to my. Yeah, I definitely. Fuck, dude. I realize that now. Trust me. Because in that moment, it's like, oh, how am I gonna put this thing on? Like,
as you're drowning,
what does it do when it's strapped to my boat? Absolutely nothing. So, take that into your brainwaves, kids. Freaking life vests don't do nothing unless you're wearing them.
Shit. So some kayaking. What else you do?
I've been skating a little bit lately. Honestly, I've been.
Dude, you surpass in such a short amount of time. I mean, not skating. You surpass me when it comes, especially like the mini ramps and shit. I'm just
I hurt myself, dude, this last summer.
I don't got the ankles and the knees for it.
That's what I pulled my shoulder, dude. So I was trying to do like an early grab. So I was like, early grab. I don't know what grabbing back here behind me is, but I would like go up the ramp, grab it like that, and then jump into a 180 back down. And the way that I was like pushing my shoulder. Oh no, it wasn't actually that. It was because I would land. It was that day we were skating, and it was like there was a bunch of forest fires nearby, and it was like dumping ash onto the ramp, dude. So we fucking.
When was this? This last spring or something?
No, it was this summer. Yeah. Uh,
I wasn't. I've only skated with you once since I've been
no,
out.
I don't think you were there. It was me, Jesse, and Joe, and I think Rat Kid was there, and I think Aiden was watching. It was when Aiden had his broken leg. But anyway, so I'm going up the ramp, and I would 180, and then as I would land, I would be leaning too far back, and my skateboard would slip out. So I kept slamming my shoulder, that
Ugh.
back shoulder, on the ramp. Like I probably did it like 5 or 6 times in a row, dude. Maybe even more than that. And I just like beat myself up. And then I think the next day I wrestled Hunter, just like horsing around, like. And anyway, he ended up freaking slamming me on that same shoulder. And then I was like, fuck, dude, I need to stop fucking around like this because.
Now you can't blow glass for a minute.
No, luckily I was still able to blow glass. It was slightly annoying, but it wasn't that bad. But it was an eye opener of like, dude, if it would have been any worse, I don't want to jeopardize my health, over like horsing around having fun,
Yeah.
It's like, wasn't that much fun, you know?
Getting slamming fucking 5-6 times and getting body slammed.
But I do love skating. Like this trip that we went on to Oregon, we stopped at a couple different skate parks along the way, and I love it. I do. I like skateboarding a lot, and I've been realizing more that I need to kind of like stick to my current level and get a little bit more comfortable because I like you said, I'm trying to progress fast.
Yeah.
And I deal with the same problems in glass too, kind of, where I'm like, I have the abilities to kind of, I mean, you see they're good, but they're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like still trying to dial all that in to where I'm like getting the consistency, you know what I mean? To where I can do it the same every single time. And instead of trying to like up my skills and do bigger, crazier, like early grab 180s when I'm still having trouble freaking doing a 50-50 on the top of the ramp. Like I can't 50-50 out every time, but yet I'm over here trying to do this new, even crazier, like jumping, floating through the air on my skateboard trick, like, and I can't even ride on it, not taking my feet off. Like it's just kind of silly, So I need to take that into consideration with a lot of things in life and just kind of like take a step back, take it easy and be comfortable where I'm at. And it's like karate, it's like a martial art. It really is. It's like skating is too. It's like you do these same repetitive things over and over and over again, and it's
Master
like
it.
you're honing that skill. Yeah, you're mastering it. And like with certain other things, it's like you wouldn't necessarily do it like that. Whereas skating and glass are really a lot alike in that way, where you try and try and try and try, and each time you get a little bit better, and then every once in a while you fuck up, and maybe you fuck up a few in a row, But then it's like after that you learn from those mistakes and you start getting better and even better, and then eventually you can do it every single time, and it's not even a question in your mind whether you can do that or not anymore, And it's awesome. I love that kind of stuff in life. That's my favorite feeling when you're progressing like that, when you're in that, like, you can feel yourself constantly evolving. And it sucks though, because like I said, these are things that it really is a martial art. So you got to get back to those roots and strengthen your core, like, fundamentals in order to be able to progress. And that's something that is sometimes tedious. It gets hard, to like I was saying earlier about making hundreds and hundreds of these, and sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, damn, dude, making another one. All right, here we go. But it is what it is. Like I said, I shouldn't complain. I do that too much, and I need to stop. I'm very, very, very grateful for my life and this career that I've built, and no matter where I take it or where it takes me, I'm happy that it's happening, and I love it a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I don't know where I would be without it, but I couldn't imagine my life without this being what I have going on. It would probably not be as tight, for sure. I like it a lot. It's cool, and it's helped me introduce myself to a lot of really cool people who I really enjoy, and like man, yeah, glass is awesome. It's also helped me get into the circle of at the barter fair, the like festival community of instead of just going there to like kind of partake in the fun of everything, like I'm actually going there and helping
Contribute.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm like essentially like I'm like entertaining people while they're there. Not only by my glass and like having this available for sale and stuff like that, but also just having the booth and being a part of that community is I love it. I have so much fun. I like freestyle rap at people as they're walking past me and I'm like talking about whatever they're doing, like flipping their stick around in the air and stuff like that. And then I'm like sometimes I end up buying glass from me and stuff, you know, and I'm like, I want to get more games and like little things like that to just bring people into my booth. Like, hey, come try this. It's free. It's fun. It's funny. You know, it'll make you smile. Probably. I almost guarantee it, you know?
Kind of like at Emerald Creek Crondo they introduced me to.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Crondo. Yeah, he had that one little game or whatever that with like the fucking ball you like have to like loosen tension.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those things are crazy.
Hey, this is kind of fucked to ask you because you don't even know the word, but what was the last letter I said?
Well, so, okay, you've said 3 letters so far.
Only 3?
Yeah.
All right, tight.
So this is the 4th letter?
Yeah, that's the 4th letter. The 4th letter is I. 4th letter to the code to win one of these pipes is I. Now, yeah, your shit's been blowing up.
I know.
Tell those people to quit bothering you.
I'm trying. I'm actually not trying. I'm just ignoring it. It'll be okay.
You're good. So speaking of freestyle rapping, so that was a little bit of art you used to do. So
I do. I have a few songs. I have a song that I really like that I
record a little bit.
I need to jump back in the studio. So keep an eye on for that too. I think that there might be some music coming out sometime, maybe.
Yeah, I know you got a few songs that are on. Well, like one song that I don't think is on all major platforms, and with Jesse B Dog, and then you got. Do you not know what song I'm talking about?
I know. Well, I know all my songs.
Yeah.
I'm trying
one
to
that I don't think
decipher
is on
one.
major platforms because I mean I listen to Spotify and I don't see it on there. But then you got Kill Sauce and fucking what else?
So I have a song called "Smilin'" on spot on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
and
that's on one of my playlists.
That's a pretty cool one. It's like about graffiti and stuff like that.
That one's just you too.
Yeah, that's my first solo song.
Hell yeah,
I'm proud of that.
No, I've showed that to people and they're like, "Who the fuck is?" I'm like, "Dog, this is Tim." They're like, "Who? What? Which Tim?" I'm like, I tell them, and they're like, "No fucking way."
So I have a new song that I've been working on for quite some time. I like play the ukulele and I have this like kind of percussive. If you go on my Instagram, you can see just a little snippet of me messing around down here in the studio one time. And but I wasn't happy with that session, so I like went back to the basics, start playing, practicing more. That's another thing. Music is another kind of one of those arts where it's like really you got to bust down to the fundamentals and just piss yourself off with how much you practice this boring thing, and that's how you're going to get good at it, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, this conversation I feel like is going to be really good for me going into the future. Like I was saying at the beginning,
hell yeah, dude.
When we were talking about like, or I had mentioned briefly about like, sometimes I question if I should like keep this as my full-time thing or if I should like kind of put it on the back burner, use it as a hobby and get a like real job, you know? And it's like, this can be a real job. I just don't treat it that way. And that's no one's fault except my own.
Also, you don't want to burn yourself out on it too.
I know, but at the same time, it's like, do you think that's what freaking Stevie Ray Vaughan was saying when he's like shredding the guitar for who knows how many hours a day? He's like, oh yeah, I don't want to get burnt out. Like becoming one of the greats. Like, yeah. I don't think that's necessarily, I feel like that's something that you should overcome. Honestly, like.
I mean, my dad always said, like,
and it's hard.
If you enjoy what you do, you know, for work, then it's not really work, you know.
It's not always true, though, because like I said, I do definitely get into the mind state where sometimes these become tedious, and I don't necessarily... It's not that I don't enjoy it, but I get to the point where I would rather be doing other things, for sure, you know, like, I would sometimes when I'm in the middle of making 100 of these in a row, I'm like, dude, going to Oregon Playing with my dog sounds so nice right now, dude. Like, I can
As I
only
hear her
imagine, you know?
I can hear her
Oh,
now.
I know.
Gosh.
Anyway, um,
So, real quick, the what was this? Will be the fifth letter to win one of these pipes is S. Letter S.
shout out Opal. That's my dog. I fucking love her so much,
No,
dude.
she's gonna be whining more.
Yeah, she's probably sitting there listening to me like, why are you talking about me and not letting me down there, dude? So rude.
So, what's you kind of explained it a little bit earlier, with going to the gym and stuff, but what's a normal day for you?
Dude, that's
Varies.
very varies. It's very variable. What I would like to have a normal day be for me, I kind of already explained. Like I said, I would like wake up, make a good breakfast, head to the gym for like an hour, maybe hour and a half. And this is like, I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure all this out, you know? Like this isn't something that I've been doing for years and years and years, and I'm like super practiced at, you know? So this is just like the routine that I'm like trying to create for myself, I guess we'll say.
My smart ass right there was gonna be like, "What? Making breakfast?" I'm like,
I
"Dog, you made some
figured
pretty good breakfast." I don't know what you're
I
saying.
figured that one out pretty well. I've been doing that for a while, so. But anyway, so wake up, make myself a good breakfast, freaking head to the gym, work out for like hour, maybe hour and a half, shower, head to the shop, work for a few hours, maybe go grab some lunch or make some lunch there, like make a sandwich, take a little break, chill out for a little bit, maybe smoke some weed or something, hang out with the homies at the shop for a little bit, then get back to work for a few more hours. And I want to get to the point where I am treating this more like a real job, where I go in and I work like, say, 2.5 hours straight doing something, and then I take like a little 15-minute break, work another 2.5 hours or 2 hours, whatever it may be, like whether I decide to work eights or tens, or I'm still trying to figure it out. Like I said, I'm like, this is brand new to me, being self-employed, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It is insanely weird how much more dependable I am when I'm working a real job for somebody else who's like going to get pissed at me or fire me if I don't come in on time every day, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like that's like it's easy for me to do. It's just it is what it is, just having a job, you know what I'm saying? But for me to get up and do that for myself every day, which you would think would be easier, if you have the opportunity to do that, you're like, dude, why wouldn't I go make as much money as I can for myself or whatever, but I'm not very money motivated. That's the thing about it. I'm like, and I realize that money equals experiences, and it's like, it's a tool.
Cycle.
Yeah. It's like a tool. The negotiator is the money, it's how you connect the dots of like, this is what I want to do. How do I do that? I do this, and then I sell that for money, and then I can use that money so it's like, I should use that as fuel to be more money motivated, but I'm just not for whatever reason. So for me, it's like at that point when I'm working for someone else, it's like I've already given them my word, and my word means a lot to me. So if I tell them I'm going to be there every day, I'm going to try my best to do that. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it's easier for me to just fuck off when I'm there for myself. It sucks. It's a super, super tricky
balance.
Yeah.
For sure.
Something I'm working on.
So, as being a glass blower, what's some of the best advice you've been given this far in your career blowing glass?
Don't fuck shit up.
Really?
Yeah. Which is funny, since you're the lead captain of fucking team fuck shit up.
Oh, dude, like I did a number on that this last year, but I'm trying to, definitely not. Right now I'm on board with team fix shit up whether it comes to my job or my fucking life at the moment.
Right, dude. I want to give you some mad props on everything that you've been through recently and everything you got going on, and how well you have handled all that, bro.
Thank
like
you. You're somebody
I've seen a lot of people that have gone through similar things, and you've handled this very, very, very well, Trevor. I fucking got mad respect and again, mad props, bro.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. Cause you're somebody that from a phone call from jail to, just picking me up just to go fucking on a hike or just to you're one of the few people that. I mean, there's a lot of people that checked up on me and shit like that, but actually going out of your way just to pick me up, and just to make sure I'm doing good.
Charging your gas money though.
hey, man, I understand it though. I mean, it doesn't bother
I know.
me when
Well,
you're
I
actually...
wouldn't have been able to do it because I was broke at the time, but I definitely wanted to chill. So I'm
Mhm.
like, you got some gas? I'll come chill, bro.
Yeah, but
It's a little different,
you're
but
somebody that's definitely fully supported the changes I have to make with my life to just the...
I'm super proud of you, seriously, for all the changes you've made, as well as just putting your nose to the grindstone to jump through all the little hoops that you had to do.
Yeah, dude,
and
probation's a motherfucker.
everything, dude. You're killing it. Seriously, you're killing it.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. Because sometimes when you're going, I guarantee there's other people that are listening to this that have been on probation. Like, that's a really important thing you just said to help another person, just recognize that and hear that, because sometimes it's really easy to think like, fuck, like I've had days at work I'm like, fuck this, I'll just go back to working for myself. Like, I don't need it. I don't need your bullshit. Like, fucking, I'll make my own fucking hours, make better money faster, this and that. It's like, I gotta fucking check myself. And luckily, there's been like a relapse prevention group, that was able to, like, that later on that day I was able to fucking express all that too. And I had to ask them ahead of time. I was like, hey, if I tell you guys something, you're not going to use it to incriminate me. They're like, no, like, there's like anonymity or fucking like a fucking what's it called, like everything's fucking
Anonymous.
yeah, well, not, it wasn't like an AA class, but or NA, but it was just the fact that everything here is like supposed to be kept secret, unless it's something that they
It's
have to tell
actually
your they
incriminating.
have to tell your PO on. Where I was like, no, this is just things of like what I used to do and just how I'm feeling about it right now. They're like, yeah, go ahead, and I expressed to them. And afterwards, like, everybody that was listening was like part of the group was fucking speechless, like, damn, this kid's going through it today. But and I feel like I kind of inspired some people to let go, like, because the past couple weeks I've heard some people really
Like
let
get
go
down nitty gritty and actually
and
bust into their stories and
yeah,
stuff.
where they've
Yeah.
dipped into theirs, where they're not afraid to just oh, my day was good, because you gotta talk about highs and lows. I can't talk too much on it because it's secret. But pretty much it's just being able to show people it's okay to fucking have those feelings,
Express that, yeah,
and
yeah.
express that, and it's healthy
I
to
think that
express
is
it and to
super,
let them know.
super
Where
good,
I
bro.
put myself in a one-on-one session, with like a counselor, for a day. I mean, it fucking sucks. It's expensive as fuck. But sometimes you need that shit. But it's also very important to know that bros that are seeing you making that change, that seeing you make that effort, have your back and are also very supportive and are telling you that, like, it's a very important thing to the soul, to make sure to know you're not
Yeah,
doing
for
this
sure.
for
A
fucking
little bit of reassurance is all. It goes a long way.
The state,
Yeah, and it truly does make me proud. I'm not just saying that because it's like what the freaking state wants you to
I
do.
mean, shit, you saw
That's not even at all.
You saw the muck I used to run through.
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
That's not even at all what goes into me. Like, I am stoked that you're jumping through them hoops also. Like, you're doing a really good job, like, keeping them happy or whatever. But the life changes that you're making ultimately is what I'm really proud of.
Thank you.
And I see it too, kicking it with you. And even this conversation here, it's like,
getting you
hella
on my
awesome,
podcast,
bro.
I've
It's
been
dope.
trying to grind at this, and keep my grind and my, I got some goals. I'm trying to keep my grind and my goals congruent right now and trying to hold on to them and not
And you're
juggle,
doing a great job.
not juggle too many of these fucking goals around and jump from one to the next one. It's like I'm going to stay at it consistent with one before I try to pick up another one and get that going. Like, I mean, I still plan to race again. I just need to get the bike going, but I still plan to do a lot of that shit.
I need to get another bike, dude. Shout out dirt bikes, man. If it wasn't for my dirt bike, I wouldn't have my torch. So that was a good investment there. Hopefully, shout out Torch. Hopefully it buys me a dirt bike here soon.
Hell yeah. So get back on track real quick. So what is some advice you give to somebody that wants to start blowing glass?
Don't fuck shit up.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I'm like, damn.
Okay, so my advice as far as someone who has never jumped on the torch before and is just interested in looking into blowing glass, like I said, Revere Glass on YouTube is a great resource to be able to get an idea of how the process works. And for me, it was like I saw very quickly that it is a slow and tedious process, but it was something that I liked about it. I saw very quickly that it was going to essentially be like kind of like I was saying, like a martial art, like this very slow, concentrated, like meditative process that you have to like work back and forth and switch sides multiple times in order to get the shapes and colors that you want in each side. You know what I mean? So, like, in order to make something like this, like I start over here and I flare it all the way out. And then I close it back down, or I flare it out, fume the inside of it, draw inside of it, close it down. Okay, I'm getting way sidetracked.
You're good.
If I had advice for a beginner, it would be watch Revered Glass because it will show you the intricacies of the process. If you still are interested at that time, yeah, because it'll show you. If you can spend a couple hours watching a few of those videos and still be fascinated, like still want to intake more information and be like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Oh, that's how they do that. That's so cool, you know? So scroll through a couple of those. And then I believe that he's taking some of them down, but I think there's still some up. I haven't checked in a while. But Torch Talk is another resource that is super good for beginners, as well as people who are more advanced. Like I would still, depending on what kind of techniques that I would still use that as a resource that I can still learn from at my point, you know?
All right.
But they go in a lot more, excuse me, they go into a lot more detail. So Revere Glass is kind of it's like skipping through the process and kind of showing you the main points and speeding up some parts that take a long time in order to get the gist of the project into like a little 25-minute to 30-minute video.
Tutorial, yeah.
Yeah, like a quick little, you can get the gist of it pretty quick, you know?
And what's the other one? Torch Talk?
Torch Talk.
Is that like a podcast or is it actually people blowing glass?
It's kind of a podcast, so they have different structures of it sometimes. Sometimes it's like post, or it's like a video that has been pre-recorded, and in post-production they've done like a video or a voice overlay kind of explaining the process of what they're doing and stuff like that. But in Torch Talk, it's not sped up or cut apart at all. It's you sit there and are with the person for the whole entire piece that they make. So the videos can be 2-3 hours long.
Damn.
You know? And so if you're interested in glass, though, I've watched multiple of those videos. Like it's nothing for me to sit there and watch.
Especially when you're trying to make something new. That
Yeah. I'm like, and they're putting those videos out there to teach. So it's not like I'm like going out there and like stealing these guys' designs. I'm like using these videos for their purpose and using them to expand my knowledge and take it into my own craft and putting my own shapes and twists on everything, you know. Trying my best to, at least, you know. I'm still developing my style and skill. I'm only 3 years in, so I'm sure it's only going to get more intricate and more developed, and soon you'll be able to totally look at something that I made and be like, oh, he made that, you know. But so for a beginner, Torch Talk, Revere Glass. If you're still interested, then check out Torch Talk. If you're still interested, it's definitely, it can be tricky to find someone to let you come into their shop. If you pay them money, take a class, that's awesome. That's a great resource. It's kind of expensive though. Some of the starting classes are like $300 to $500, sometimes even upwards from there for like a 1-day session. So it's kind of an expensive thing to get into. But if not, you know, like if you have any friends who are currently blowing glass, that's what I did. Is I asked everyone I knew, and I asked everyone I knew if they knew anyone who blew glass. And I freaking, eventually one of my friends had her, allowed me to come in, and he showed me how to do a couple things and let me try it. And pretty much ever since then, I've been going to his house. Like, well, I'm working out at Montage now, but when that first started, I was going to his house like at least every other day, every few days, trying to get on and make more stuff, make At first, like I said, it was a bunch of little dabbers and mushroom pendants and little swirls and stuff like that, like kind of like terp slurper sets, like solid work, marbles and uh but yeah, I would go over there all the time, and as long as I would keep as long as when he wanted to blow glass there was oxygen, it was pretty cool. We would work it out, and he pretty much just let me be there ultimately for free. I mean, I think
That's
I
a
kicked him
homie.
a couple bucks a few times, and I've definitely bought a few pieces from him. Like at first, especially when he was when he would show me how to do something, a lot of the times I would buy that piece from him just to show him, like I appreciate this a lot, and it does mean a lot to me. I want this as a memento. I still have actually one of them I ended up dropping one of them, and
Dude,
unfortunately
I had his
glass
first
breaks. But
wigwag spoon
I
that a
know.
fucking cop
Hey,
took from
something?
me,
I know.
and then he
Sorry
made
to
me a
cut you
custom
off.
one or whatever that one day that you I think you chose picked out to give me of his stash or something like that.
So, do you remember the day that we were at? I think it was maybe safety stock, and he was explaining the process of making that pipe.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I was tripping when that happened, and I think I'm not exactly sure if he was or wasn't. I don't know, but I remember he was really into the story, and he was like using his hands, and I could like. It was almost like I was there watching him blow glass. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so fascinated that was before I blew glass. So that was one of the early moments too that was like, dude, I really want to try this. Like that sounds so tight. Like, and it is. I remember the first time that I actually watched it happen. Like, so do you know what fiber optic
Yeah.
cables are? It's glass. It's long, tiny strands like fibers of glass,
Yeah.
and they flash light. So when you light up one end of a glass rod, the light almost immediately transfers from the end. So when I'm working something like this and I have the flame on it, this whole thing and the end of it is like lit up bright orange, and my hands are like glowing different colors and shit like that. And it's so
That's a trip.
cool to watch, dude. It's like watching yourself do it is just like,
Making
whoa,
magic right there in
dude.
your hand.
It's cool.
Hell yeah. So, what's one of the next upcoming events you're going to be vending at? Selling some glass.
I
We can
don't
find you
actually
at.
have any that are for sure.
What are you trying to get on? What's that one winter one you were saying?
So, I would rather. I don't think this is even. I don't know exactly how long these take to come out, but I think that event will probably be past.
Okay.
It's coming up pretty quick.
But we can for sure see you at like what? Burning Cow?
Definitely, yeah. The festival's coming up next year. I will be at as many as I can be. Especially the larger ones and the ones that are more popular.
Spring Tenasket, Burning Cow,
Spring Fair, most likely preseason, Burning Cow.
Mayfair.
Oh, I forgot Mayfair is happening again this year. I'll
Yeah.
for sure be at Mayfair. I love that fair. Um, yeah, those are definitely my next for sure's. Um, and we'll see if just keep tabs on my Facebook and my Instagram. Like I said, Glass by Spy, all lowercase on either Instagram or Facebook, and I'll keep it posted of anything that I'll be planning on vending and stuff like that here in the near future.
Hell yeah. So the last letter for the code word to win one of these silver and metal or silver and gold fumed pipes. The last letter is M. So if you watch this whole video, you should have all the letters. First 10 people to DM me on Facebook, whether it's my actual Facebook, Trevor Bose Curry, or Kid Curry's DM me on the Kid Curry one, or on Instagram, the real Kid Curry 918. Just DM me with that word. First 10 people will be put into a random drawing, and one winner will be chosen. And I will give you one of those pipes that's made by yours truly, Spy Blast. No, I appreciate you coming on, bro. Honestly, this
man.
was really fun. Just being like, I laughed my ass off, just, reminisce on some old shit,
Yeah.
and being able to explain it and tell everybody, not just them be like, what the fuck are they laughing about? But we've had a lot of, dude, we've had some fucking experiences, and it's cool to see where, it's cool to see what we have made of ourselves, as young men, but on where the future's going to take us to.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see that too. Especially, I got a lot of friends right now who are really pushing to achieve their goals, and it's really exciting. I'm super fortunate for the friend group that I have. They're very inspiring people to have in my life to make me continue to push to want to make my plan succeed. And then also, it's awesome to have some of my old friends like my homie Peyton, man, coming back to Spokane or coming back to Washington here hopefully soon, and it's super exciting to have him back to hopefully be able to have this set up as a good influence for some of my like. Also, my homie Brandon is supposed to be coming back to Washington here soon, and I'm hoping to be able to like have these things and these outlooks set up and like resources to show them like, look, dude, like you can do the things that you want in life, regardless of the steps that you take to get there, whether it be building through a job or through a company or through a art or a craft or a skill or whatever it may be, a hobby, a fucking anything, You have the resources here in front of you to be able to build your life the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
The way you want it to be, and it's hard and things don't always go exactly as planned, and I have no idea what's going on in life, really, you know what I mean? But it seems like so far the way that I've been living my life as of recently, since I've been on this like trying to build my own kind of sustainable
brand.
Well, yeah, like just lifestyle.
Yeah.
More than just a brand. It's actually the way that I like live and carry myself, and like I really try to freaking look into the future with goals in mind of like getting property and like being able to do things that will take me as far out of like the clutches of the world as possible. Like I want my own shit going on. I don't want to have to worry about all this other shit, and maybe that's selfish of me, but
I don't think so.
I think definitely since I've been in the pursuit of that and since I've been achieving goals to make that my reality, I've definitely been able to notice an improvement in my state of mental health and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would advise everybody to try to become more self-sufficient, become less dependent on society and less dependent on the clutches of the world.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on. Real quick, let's end this. What's some last minute shout outs you want to give?
Last minute shout outs. Okay. Hatter, you're awesome. Brando, you're awesome. Aaron, Crondo, freaking Chris, freaking Brad, the other Chris down in Oregon, fucking Justine, my dad, my dog, my mom, my fucking brother, Trevor,
Thank you.
Jesse B Dog, motherfucking Joe, fucking who else we got here? Hunter, fuck it, Kayla, fucking I'm running out. Oh, that one homie who I forgot his name earlier.
Still can't remember it.
Fucking God damn it. Fuck. Oh shit. My mom would be pissed if she just heard me say that on here. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yeah. Shout outs to everybody, dude. The whole fucking world. You guys are all the shit. Even if you're not, you're working on it, hopefully.
Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate that. Hey man, it was a good one.
Come here, buddy.
Ugh.
Love
Thanks,
you, bro.
Love you, bro. All right, everybody. That was another episode of Shades On. Until
what
then.
an awkward handshake.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.